Well, the Broncos are coming off a massive win against the Packers, but this win has a lot more meaning. Their 11-game win streak is still alive, and they clinched a playoff berth. Joining us to break down the game and what's next for the team is our insider, Mike-Klis, with Klis Mike Drop. Hey.
Hey, thanks a lot. Yes, the Broncos did clinch a playoff berth. Sean Payton was rather animate today on his conference call, the day after conference call he has every Monday. He said playoffs was not the goal for this team. It's not goal number one. Goal number one is winning the division, and that's still ahead of the Broncos. They're almost there. They're up on the Chargers by 2 games with 3 to go, but they still have a game against the Chargers, so they still have some work to do there. The second goal is to get the highest seed possible. Right now, the Broncos have the number 1 seed in the AFC as the New England Patriots blew it. They blew a 21-0 lead against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, but they blew it because the Buffalo Bills have Josh Allen. And then the third goal is the Super Bowl. So still work ahead. On to Jacksonville, says Sean Payton, not preparing for the playoffs yet. They're still in regular season mode. About that Green Bay win, the Broncos are down 23-14, 1 minute into the second half. The Packers got that questionable pass interference call against Riley Moss, and then Josh Jacobs explodes for 40 yards and a touchdown. The Packers go up by 9 points. And at that point, it was really all Broncos. Actually, the Broncos had a 3-and-out on their next series, and then Matt LaFleur, the Packers coach, got greedy and threw a deep ball interception to Pat Surtain. The crowd gets into it. Bo leads them down on a touchdown drive, and it's all Broncos from there. So the Broncos wind up winning 34-26. They just wore them down, and that's what's happened with this team all year. They wear opponents down, either because of 5,280 feet or training at altitude, plus the conditioning program that Bo Lowry has for the team. Sean Payton practices these guys longer and a little harder than other coaches. I know he does way more than LaFleur. And Payton talked about how gassed the Packers were. So the Broncos are 12-2 with that 11-game winning streak. They've won 12 in a row at home, and that number 1 playoff seed is almost theirs. That number 1 playoff seed, what comes with it? A first-round bye. So basically you win the first round of the playoffs by having a bye, and then the next round and the AFC Championship game, if you advance that far, both will be at Empower Field at Mile High. And last time the Broncos had that type of deal, the number 1 seed, was in 2015 when they won it all. And they won Super Bowl 50 that was held in Santa Clara, California, Levi Stadium, where the San Francisco 49ers play. This year, where is Super Bowl 60, 10 years later? It's in Santa Clara, California, home of the San Francisco 49ers. Super Bowl 60 will be held there. So could be some symmetry there for the Broncos this year. It all seems to be lining up. The offensive player of the game for the Broncos, got to go with Bo Nix, right? I mean, he threw 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. He took no sacks. A lot of people thought that was Bo's best game. He threw for 302 yards on top of everything else. I don't know if it was his best game ever. Go back and look at his performance against Carolina last year, against the Chiefs JV team, that last game of the year, against the Atlanta Falcons last year. Those are 3 great games. But I will agree this was Bo's best performance of the season. And again, another comeback win for Bo Nix. Defensive player of the game is Pat Surtain. He has his first interception, and it came at a good time. It switched momentum. The Broncos, again, down 9, and the Packers are going for more. He's covered one-on-one of Christian Watson. Watson gets hurt on the play and has to be taken to a hospital. Hope he's okay. But Surtain with the big interception, the crowd got into it. You could feel the adrenaline and the energy, as Bo Nix put it. So Pat Surtain is the defensive player of the game. Do want to say a shout out to Patrick Mahomes and Micah Parsons. Mahomes, the great quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, suffers a season-ending ACL injury. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses a game or two starting next year. And then Micah Parsons, the great pass rusher, edge player for the Packers. The Packers gave up a lot for him, but that's one reason why you don't give up sell the farm for one player, is because injuries can happen. The Broncos on to Jacksonville then this next week, Sunday. It'll be a 2 o'clock game. Jacksonville, one of the better surprise teams in the league. They're 10-4. Trevor Lawrence playing well. Liam Cohen, their coach, he deserves some Coach of the Year consideration, along with Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots. So that'll be a big game for the Broncos, again, as they go for the #1 playoff seed. They're basically a game and a half on New England. Not only are they one game up, but they have the tiebreaker. So the Broncos basically need just 2 more wins to clinch that #1 playoff seed. Might not have to play anybody against Jim Harbaugh's Chargers in that final game. So we'll see. Broncos 12-2. They win every which way, but the primary way that they win is they out-physical teams. They wear teams down in that fourth quarter. Sean Payton talked again how the Broncos won on both sides of the line of scrimmage against the Packers, and that was a difference, even though the Packers and Jordan Love had things going for 2 quarters and 1 minute into the third. So we'll talk to you again next week after the Jacksonville game, see where the Broncos stand. This has been Klis's Mic Drop, and we'll send it back to you.